What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So as you all know, we have got Spider-Man Miles Morales gameplay and tons of info just thrown at us over the last 24 hours, which has been absolutely mental. And now we got Andrew Rayner, who has been dropping some more gems of info for this game as he done a Q&A on Twitter. So we got a ton of stuff to talk about, and this of course is just, I guess, a slight sprinkle of greatness, because of course we have got a whole ton of coverage for this game, because it's a whole month of coverage through Game Informer. So that is just going to be really cool. I'm really excited. As always, let's try and crush 19 likes, and go ahead and click that big red subscribe button below to go ahead and jump on the hype train. But it's also a really cool thing to do in general. Now, from the gameplay we've seen, which will of course be playing in the background, I want you to get in the comments below and rate your, I guess, excitement out of 10 right now in the comments below. For me, being completely honest, I don't want to of course be, or I guess sound biased, right? But straight away, right off the bat, I guess it's just a 10 out of 10. Just purely knowing what Insomniac are capable of doing in general, right? Especially with the last Spider-Man game. So when we see the gameplay for this, you can kind of just visualize how it's going to feel almost. But nonetheless, let's kick off this video with the Q&A that Andrew Rayner done on, of course, Twitter. I think it's pronounced Rayner or Rayner, I'm not entirely sure, but nonetheless, let's dive into these questions. So somebody asked, is the swinging speed faster than in the PlayStation 4 version of the game due to the SSD capabilities? Now, Andrew's response to this was an interesting one, because he said he didn't ask that. However, he's guessing the same for, I guess, gameplay reasons. But nonetheless, he added this really cool bit of info that says the DualSense controller will make it feel different, so you can feel the shoulder button basically tighten as you hold onto the webbing, I guess, in a swing, right, as a whole. And the really interesting thing we've all found out, again, in the last 24 hours is, of course, you know, Miles is just getting used to being Spider-Man. So with that said, he's not going to be as fluent with web swinging compared to Peter Parker, and essentially we're going to be able to notice that and literally feel this. Again, as Andrew is saying, you feel the button literally tighten, which is just going to be insane. I mean, all in all, it's going to be really cool, because this is one of the things that I guess Insomniac games keep stressing as well with the DualSense controller. So that has just got me really excited. Now, the next question was, what gameplay mechanics have been improved since Spider-Man? And this is a really cool answer, because it says takedowns are a big one, and you can now do them from walls and the ceiling, which is a big win. Of course, you could do it from the ceiling more or less in Spider-Man PS4. When it comes down to the walls, though, kind of getting a bit more stealthy as well. I mean, takedowns have always been that thing that are really therapeutic to do, but again, being able to do it in situations like this are definitely going to add to that and really make you feel literally like Miles Morales, right? Literally like Spider-Man as a whole. Now, the next one is with the swinging animations and if they're any different, and he said yes, they are completely new, because Miles's movements are inspired by skydiving acrobatics. So this is another interesting bit of info, and it basically links up to what I said as well a couple of moments ago, where Miles is new to being Spider-Man, so he's not as fluent and so forth, and he's got his own style, and we were able to see that in the screenshots as well, which either will be playing in the background of the video now, or you'll basically see them anyway in the gameplay, because it's some really cool stuff. I mean, this is honestly shaping up to be such a cool game, because the next question is stating super jump, and the answer is Venom jump. And again, this is just going to add to that gameplay experience and just make this feel, I guess the whole purpose is, right, like they keep saying, they want to make you feel like Spider-Man. So when it comes down to all of this stuff, all the DualSense controller, this is going to be phenomenal. But it doesn't stop there, okay, because on top of all of this, there's a Twitter user who goes by the name Shinobi602, and he is another games journalist, and he dropped some more info for this game, such as the following. So there are no load screens, okay, so even when you are fast traveling, there's zilch. You're not getting any load screens. screens, which is a big win. And the next one is new to being Spider-Man, like I said, and learning Miles' animations look visually less fluid / refined, but there's also going to be unannounced villains that will be in the game. And of course, if you didn't already know, we know Rhino is going to be in the game, which is again a big win. We did get to see a screenshot of that, which just looks absolutely phenomenal. So to know what other enemies or villains, whatever you want to call them, are going to be in the game is definitely something I'm stoked for seeing, because I guess when it comes down to villains in the game, it's really crucial in superhero games as a whole, right? And I guess we most importantly learned this from Marvel's Avengers game this year so far, so yeah, hopefully Insomniac pull off something really cool, which I'm sure they will. Now the second to last thing is a really cool one, and that is that there is the Friendly Neighborhood Spider app, and basically us as players can use the touchpad to just quickly pick activities like crimes, for instance, from Miles's phone, again without having to go into a separate menu. So it's really, I guess what I can gather as a whole, it's all about making the gameplay simultaneously just flow, right? Like you're able to do these transitions, make these different, I guess, directions maybe in the game, where you're not just getting stuck in a load screen, having to go to the main menu, having to scroll through things, etc. So this is a very nice bit of information. And the last one is that there are improved dynamic camera placement during combat, which again is a big win. Depending on how I guess you're going to be playing, whether it's stealthy, whatever it may be, it's definitely going to make for some really cool experiences. Now, besides all of this incredible information, of course, like I said, we got a bunch of screenshots, the ones that you'll be seeing in the background more or less by now anyway. And I mean, there's that one suit that is safe to say has everyone stoked for, and on top of that, Miles and Peter in action. That's something we did see, and it has a lot of people visualizing how, I guess, co-op mode could work in potentially Spider-Man 2, and I agree on how cool it would be and how great it would be, because now we've got these two different characters. I think not having co-op in Spider-Man 2 would be a huge missed opportunity, so fingers crossed, hopefully they can implement that. Now, just one more thing I want you to add into here. There was a question that was asked to Andrew as well regarding if there's going to be like backpacks again like Spider-Man PS4 that are collectibles, and he did say that as far as he's aware there wasn't, or it hasn't been confirmed yet, but there is actually something to do with music, which I think is really cool, something different as well, and it's going to be really interesting to see that implemented in the game as a whole. But don't forget, it's a different character, essentially a different age as well, that's another thing, so it's kind of like experiencing completely different things compared to Spider-Man PS4. So now we got a PlayStation 5, the DualSense controller. I am really excited to see this stuff, but get in the comments below and leave your thoughts on this, and that's going to wrap up this one here. So as always, subscribe for more awesome content if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.